Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Joseph. I'm the president of the Software and Information Industries Association. We represent over 700 companies and associations that are dealing in the distribution and creation of content, in publishing, and providing the critical information that helps drive business worldwide. It's a pleasure to be with you this morning. There are a lot of trends going on that are impacting your business, impacting the decisions you make. And from one of the benefits of my job is I get to sit and see some of these trends that are going across the industry. Our members are primarily on the B2B side with some B2C publishers, but we can see some of the trends that are impacting B2B publishing and content creation and distribution and how they may impact your business. So I want to talk about that a little bit today. I think the most important thing to note, that sort of the theme I use, is that the revolution is digital. It's no longer will be televised, no longer will be digital. That this business, that the digitization and the important benefits that can come from digital tools and technology tools are here today. Now, there's no doubt that we're living in a difficult time for the publishing industry, both on the B2B side and on the consumer side. We know that revenue is declining for publications around the world. Circulation is largely declining. We saw a bump up during the pandemic as consumers were looking for good information, but we know that the trends overall have been very challenging. We've seen a severe decline in the number of community and local newspapers. Some estimates say that about 1,300 community newspapers were lost between 2004 and 2018, clearly being impacted by many changes in demographics and usage and news collection, and leading to those subscriber and revenue declines. The recent report from PwC and the Media Outlook noted that the digital economy, the newspaper industry has to adapt or face relevance as we face increasing competition from packaged news sites, free news aggregator websites. We all remember the impact of the classified ads listing. So we need to be flexible and limber and learn how we can integrate new tools and technology to help drive and grow business. Now, of course, some are doing very well. If we look at the New York Times, the large national and global newspapers, and they've seen an increase not only in their digital ad revenues, but in their digital subscribers. So that increased engagement by using technology and using the benefits that come from being sort of a digital first newsroom and a digital first publication. Studies show that e-publishing revenue, and that includes not just consumer publications, but B2B publications and some journals all, but it gives us a sense of the growth of the market. It peaked about $7.19 billion in 2016, is expected to reach over 8.8 billion by 2022. So we know that there's an opportunity there. 3/4 of readers of both the Financial Times and the Boston Globe, of the Financial Times subscribers are now digital, and the Boston Globe was the first newspaper to have more digital subscribers than print. So again, we know that there's a there, particularly as we see users continue to move to readers move to online. We found that internet users spend more than 3.5 hours online every day. So again, there's an opportunity there. So what does it look like? What is digital publishing? Well, there are many different ways to define it and many different ways to think about a digital first, digital forward approach to publishing. There's, of course, online technology that helps us digitize and disseminate the information that you create. We're seeing newsrooms use artificial intelligence, language processing to help categorize content and deliver a more personal experience to users, to help provide a more dynamic ad servers using artificial intelligence based on readership and engagement. Integrated content and sales and marketing platforms that some of you may already use that allow for drag and drop editing in an increasingly mobile world. They're mobile optimized, and they allow for flexible subscription models as well. The use of data analytics and visualizations to deliver more personalized content to your readers, automated ad servers, data collection tools that again help drive those analytics. The Google introduced their tag manager, which will help you identify the most popular tags that are being used to help identify and drive engagement with your content. And then overall content management systems, of course, that allow for that gated content as we begin to think about subscription and membership models and providing and making that premium content drive revenue. Question is, what's the value here? I make these investments and what I got out of it? Well, obviously, the broader audience reach that comes from having a digital forward, a digital first thinking and approach. insightful metrics and analytics that can help drive revenue with your sponsors and ads. It gives you provable and data-driven ROI on your offerings. More engaging content by utilizing multimedia products and making your content multimedia capable. No limits to your page size. You can have longer stories and much more engaging and interesting content. Of course, searchable, so you get that organic traffic from your archives. So as users are going in to see legacy content, they can drive them back to your new offerings. And of course, the virality or the virability of content and creating really engaging content that can help expand your audience by leveraging social media and being shared. So there's some of the trends we're seeing along these lines. Of course, these subscription-based services, it's more and more newsrooms and publishers turn to membership to help drive revenue and provide that quality content. Shorter video forms, sort of driven. We often mirror what goes on in the consumer space, and I have young kids. Some of you may too. To see the use of TikTok and those short video forms that are driving traffic back to key platforms. And email newsletters, huge trend to help drive showcase the premium quality content. A reminder of that quality content that you have on your site, a way to build community, and developing that into a premium by developing premium newsletters. And you can develop subscription models by driving that quality content again. The use of programmatic ads, and branded content. Again, a way to drive not really only technology, sort of in the sense of using a technology platform to allow for that branded content. Other major trends we're seeing, these paid membership models. Some of you may be familiar with the 19th, which is a new publishing service put out, designed particularly for women and people of color and the LGBTQ community. So they identified a need, a niche community, developed a product, and because it's so niche and so specialized, but providing this great quality content to their community, they've been able to drive revenues through this paid membership model. Come here, we understand who you are, we understand the content that you need, we're going to provide that to you for a price. B2B subscription products that are out there that enable businesses to use these tools and publishers to use these tools to reach not only their external audiences but internal audiences. So, for example, Axios has a new product that allows you to create newsletters easily and quickly, sort of using their special format, which really drives engagement. Has been proven to drive engagement, and it's an investment of about 10 grand a year. So you don't have to necessarily recreate your own platforms. Obviously, you can go out and purchase platforms that can help drive. We don't have to have. You have to invest in your own product development team necessarily. You can go out and purchase these awesome off-the-shelf products that can help drive new products. Again, not as much technology driven, but certainly a number of publishers move into events, but utilizing these online platforms and tools to create community that can drive readership and expand your reach. The virtual entertainment group is a new venture that provides reviews of products and provides a sampling of all the various products to be able to produce online events, virtual events, large and small, the VEG group. And of course, sponsored online communities, again, providing that premium content for your readership around issues of many concerns, travel, entertainment, whatever it may be, but using that and using the content management system to provide that gated content and opportunities to develop those communities. So as you're thinking about, should I be a digital newsroom? What should I begin to think about? Well, just a few tips off the top of your head as you think about this. One, have a clear mission. What's going to set your content apart? If you're developing an online newsletter, what's going to set it apart? Understand that curation is still a valid model. That it doesn't have to be. Certainly, you want to promote your digital content and your own premium content, but there's value in being that aggregator as well. Knowing the workflow, that's just as important to get right as the technology, and making sure that you understand how a digital workflow may be different than your traditional workflow. Be informed by the analytics, but not blinded by them. Again, the great part about moving to a digital first approach and having that data is you can really understand your user and provide more value back to your sponsors. But you also know your communities, and you have a great understanding. There's lots of other ways to get feedback. So use them to be informed, but don't be bound. Make sure you set strong KPIs and goals, of course, and try to make it work for other areas of your business. So if you're going with a newsletter format, for example, and you think about it as driving advertisement, you can drive subscription models. You can drive your at-home content as well. So think of it as a broad, comprehensive approach, not just about the technology itself. The key questions, of course, just as when you're developing any content, who are my target readers? How relevant and unique is the content that we're creating? And what other things can we do, again, to use this to help increase our income across the board? The goals here are a little different than your traditional goals. When you think of traditional publishing goals, you think about more traffic, more advertising, more time, which of course transfers over. But the other thing you see that when you set your goals, better audience data. What does that mean? What do I want to pull to help drive the subscription models and show that it's working? What are my goals around the deeper audience engagement? What does that really mean when I think of developing those communities? And other goals, more compelling marketing and advertising opportunities around these new products that you can offer, such as newsletters. You begin to develop your KPIs. There's KPIs around lead generation, like your subscriber base and the conversions from your newsletters or your freemium products into paid products. Your KPIs around your website use, of course, total reach, visit duration, and brand awareness. Your unique web users, the social shares, those things that you probably thought about as you're developing premium content. But again, setting those up front so you know your goals and can show that return. And then some considerations as you think through how do I set up sort of my digital approach here in e-newsletters. Do you have time to build your own software? Do you have that team, or do you need to hand that off and go off site and purchase a third-party approach? What's your timeline? Do you want to have back issues available? Do you want to retain ownership of your content? It's clearly very, very important. And if so, what are the digital rights management systems that you want to use? Third-party independent analytics, again, what those analytics you want to pull and the proper platforms for that. And of course, how much you want to spend on all this to get your ROI. As you think about these new products and think about e-newsletters and driving technology, four quick steps to get started. One, make sure you prep your readers. Here's what's coming. Here are the changes. Here's the value for you. Make that digital content easy to find. Discoverability is so key. And perhaps entice your readers with a freebie. We've seen that as a great trend across a number of consumer and business partners. Obviously, begin offering your content for free, and then or offer some sort of freemium piece, and then convert them to the paid model. Now, there are a lot of great platforms out there, a lot of great technologies that we've seen. So I don't want to make this appear as an endorsement, but I do want to share and give you a sense of some of the things that are out there. So I'm going to share my screen quickly, and you can see some of these technologies that we've seen many of our members integrate and use. So let's see here. Good. So in terms of platforms and workflow, as you develop newsletters or convert your magazines to a digital format, PageRaft is a great tool. Flipstack and Blue Toad are more of sort of flip books, but great for magazines. Review is a great blog development platform, and they were just purchased by Twitter. So there's a greater integration there to use, an opportunity to use your social media channels to help drive traffic back to blogs. Pocket is a great content collector. So if you go for this aggregation approach, your journalists can use Pocket to collect that content. It'll mark where it is on your device, and it's easy to pull up into a newsletter format. And WordPress is Newspack, which provides a variety of plugins and templates to help add value to your newsletter. So again, you don't have to go out and create all the technology. There are great platforms out there. As you think about developing newsletters or other tools, Letterhead is a great revenue calculator and help you identify how much revenue you may be able to pull off of a newsletter product by doing some analytics. The Duke Tech and Check Cooperative, some of you may have heard of, is a new initiative out of Duke University, and it provides fact checking. So if you don't have the resources to build in a fact check into your organization, particularly as you develop some of these new products and newsletters, it's a great resource to sort of provide that fact checking for you. Scroll helps you determine and set up gated content, so the users can pay for ad-free content and help drive revenue for you. And Harken is an excellent community management system. So as you develop these products and drive them, your readers back into community, it helps you create analytics. It helps you engender conversations, identify what topics are taking place in those communities. They can help drive your content creation as well. And then on the blog and social media site, again, there are many platforms, but we've heard a lot about Letter Drop, which allows you to, again, have gated content and paid membership, a lot of different opportunities for sponsorship, for revenue generation. And Elg, if you don't yet have a social media approach, or as you're developing these tools and new content platforms, they help you build a social media component around that, and also includes a blogging tool to help drive and create blogging. And then finally, just some other quick trends that we've seen that I want to mention. We talked a little bit about AI in the newsroom, and we think of AI maybe in the context of our smart speakers, our use at home, use in the car now, but it's really being increasingly used in newsrooms. It can allow for personalized content delivery for your users. It helps your journalists collect and identify appropriate content and to see how that content is being engaged. So as you develop follow-up stories or looking for new trends or new story ideas, it'll help you provide that data from how your users and readers are engaging with your content. And then again, it helps with dynamic pricing across your ad offerings and sponsorship opportunities. So you can use AI to help provide that information back to your sponsors. The Comprova project is an interesting trend. It's a coalition of newsrooms who've banded together, again, to sort of help with fact finding and truth telling, and using WhatsApp to collect, to share information and to monitor news stories. But as we see a need among consumers, among users, for what's seen as true and quality content, this project is an important way for smaller newsrooms to be able to engage in the fact finding. The consideration of voice apps as you develop these communities, or even think about moving into podcasts. Recognize that voice applications and are such a critical part of the global trend in technology, with more than 8 billion devices, voice activated devices, expected to be in use by 2023. So how can you use that to promote your content, to make sure your podcasts are voice app capable? We've talked a lot about the digital trends and tech trends, but remember, it's now a mobile first world. So as you develop content or even look at some of the tools, we have to move from the sort of print mindset to the online mindset, and now we need to switch to the mobile mindset. How's my content going to appear on a mobile device, and how do I benefit from that? Another trend we're beginning to see, trust indicators. Some newsrooms coming together to sort of create nutrition labels for news, again, to provide their readers with a sense of this is quality content that you can trust. We're grading ourselves on these metrics, and here's how we're going to hold ourselves to be a trustful, reliable provider of information. Just two more things to think about. One, the deep fakes. You may have read about the increasing use of deepfakes with video. So as you create your video, Adobe and others are coming up with tools to help provide authentication. And that's important technology for newsrooms and publishers to have to combat this use of deep fakes. And then finally, on the policy side, I'll just mention the ongoing discussion around Section 230 of the Communications Act, which is the fundamental platform that allows social media platforms to agree that they're not liable for, you're not liable for information posted on your site. And as you develop community forums or newsletters or other ways for your audiences to engage with you and provide community, keep an eye out for what may happen there, and and how you may or may not have to create policies as Congress begins to look at this complex issue. So that's a lot of information I've provided. I'll make the PowerPoint available, but hopefully it provides you with some things to think about as you're thinking about what is digital first and what's a digital newsroom look like, some of the tools and techs and trends that we're beginning to see implemented, and then hopefully some actionable insights and the ability to turn to some tools and platforms that that may help you move forward. So thank you very much for your time today. In the share here. Thank you so much for your time. I will make this content available, and please reach out if we can be of help at any time. We are SIA.net, and you can follow me at JA Joseph. So thank you again, and best of luck to you.